How's it going, guys? You might be wondering, why in the heck are we staring at a blank Google Docs page? Well, I'll tell you, I have a lot of work to do in my master's program today, so I need to make a video, but it's going to be a little bit quicker one, so I have some time to go do what I gotta do for schoolwork. And because my schoolwork is already on, basically Google Docs, I had the idea to essentially, what we're going to do is talk about NASCAR 21 Ignition again, but really dial in the things that essentially in terms of like preference, what we need to get fixed, in terms of importance, you know, like listing it like this is a must fix or we can wait a little bit. Essentially, we all want the game to have as little bugs as possible, but that's just not the real life situation. So unfortunately, this is what we have. So what can we do in terms of reporting the bugs and stuff like that? And I do want to point out, I am on PC. So there's like, let's say, for example, one bug that I see on consoles all the time that I still have not come across is the weird lag bug, where essentially you'll just be driving along and then the game will, I guess, lag, quote unquote, and the AI will either speed up or slow down, or you will stop, or something happens, and then you get sent up 50 feet into the air, and then that's it, you start barrel rolling. That's not very good. But essentially, in the comments, guys, throughout this video, we're going to go through some of the most important things that I could think of right now, that just shortest time span possible has to get fixed, because I'm actually losing my mind. So let's get into it. And number one, I'm going to put the font size at like 48. Good old Jimmy Johnson. This is number one by far, guys. Anything involving a caution. Oh, I didn't put the space in the A. A caution. There you go. Anything involving a caution. What do I mean by this? Literally, guys, let me put it this way. When I play this game, when a caution comes out, at first, I was happy because I was like, oh, cautions work, because in the first week of the game, I wasn't getting cautions, and it just wasn't coming through. Now, we also had, but before the game released, we also had the steering assist issue that, you know, me and other content creators had that issue, and I thought that was like number one. I'm pretty sure I said that was number one, steering assist and feedback and stuff. And then I realized more and more as I play the game, the real number one issue is the yellow flag. So this covers when the caution comes out, because half the time, or 80% of the time, it doesn't come out. So when it does come out, it's literally like playing Russian roulette. You do not know what is going to happen. You have no idea, essentially, if you're going to even be able to race anymore. I've encountered bugs at Atlanta where I can't restart because I have complex damage on, and when I restart the game, or when the game tries to restart me, it has control in my car, and then it sends me into an AI driver. We end up wrecking while the game controls my car, and then I cut a tire, and then with that tire cut down, I can't pit. Now, how I ran into that, I don't know, but that's just an example of one of the things that is so unbelievable when the yellow flag system in this game comes out. We can have 50, or there's not even 50 cars in the field. We can have 20 car wrecks, and there won't be a caution. But if I'm racing in career mode and I'm just running by myself, there'll be a caution that comes out. Nothing happens. I don't see it. There's no caution replays. We've been dealing with that for a very long time in NASCAR console games. So there's no caution replays, which in a way is a good way to hide more bugs in the game, because we can't see what's going on. And then once the caution does come out, the entire game stops. When the game stops, you have the sound of the cars are still running, so you just hear this weird engine sound that's just stable. You then go into pit road, and the pit road sequence is weird because then the AI start backing out of their pit stalls when they try to leave, and it's just like a cutscene. It just goes straight to the pit stops, and you just don't know what's going on. And then from there, all hell breaks loose. At that point, like I said, you don't know if you'll be able to restart the race, because sometimes the game there'll already be a wreck when it transitions from that black screen from the pit stop to back on track, coming out of turn 4, whatever track you're at. You could end up being in a wreck. You could end up the AI being wrecked. On the rare occasion, it's fine, nothing happens. And then we have the situation with the AI, where after a caution comes out, it seems like they always pit. I can't really tell. And then they pit the lap after, or some of them do. Sometimes not all of them, but some of them will pit the lap after the caution, If you run a good amount of laps, it does look like all of them pit the lap after the caution. So it essentially is a game-breaking feature, because with the yellow flags, you don't know if it will come out. If it does come out, there's a big tree, just multiple roots coming out of this tree, and they all go in multiple different directions. We don't know if this is going to happen, if this is going to happen, if that's going to happen, and all of them shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be wrecking under caution. You shouldn't be wrecking when the game has control over you. You shouldn't be getting flat tires for making contact and the game controls you. None of that should be happening whatsoever. So yeah, guys, it's a mess. It is a mess. And why I'm not playing the career mode right now, and this is one reason. Look, I got here's my work right here on my Mac laptop, as you guys can't really see it, but yeah, that's one reason. But also, like, playing career mode right now, and a lot of you have told me this, is just don't do it right now, because I can't get a normal, like, I just want a normal race. I just want a normal race, a normal NASCAR race. And what I mean by that is, if there's a wreck, there should be a caution. If there's green flag stops, we should be able to just kind of go through that smoothly. Like, these are just everyday common basics of NASCAR. Well, we're not even gotten to the stage part. We'll get to that later, but yeah, like, it's gotten to the point where I was thinking today, before I was like, do I have time to upload a career mode video? But I was like, wait a minute. Even if I do it, do I do 15%? Do I do 25%? Do I turn tire wear off? Tire wear is actually a good thing, but then I might have to turn it off with fuel consumption, because I don't know how the pitting works in this game. If you run a 15% race, the AI might just pit at the end of the race for no reason. So yeah, this is it's just a massive problem. It's a massive problem. Anything with cautions has to get fixed, and that's what I'm worried about, is that actually I don't even know if it can get fixed, because it's everything revolving the caution. It's not just the caution. It's not just the game, the simple game, fundamental of NASCAR, that a caution comes out when there's a wreck or something. It's everything, all those routes that come out of that I've been talking about, that, this can happen and that can happen and this can happen. How do you fix all that? It's unbelievable. And that brings me into my second point, which we're going to put at a smaller font, and it's going to be called AI. He's Allen Iverson. The AI, man. Okay, so here's the thing about the AI. When you race around them, not bad. Especially when the field gets spread out a little bit and you have 1v1 battles. Pretty good. And I don't know if this, I mentioned it with the caution thing, but the AI are odd. Sometimes they don't see where you are in terms of the track. Like, they see you, but they give you no room. Especially if you're on the bottom lane. So going 3 wide, really anywhere, is a big risk when it really shouldn't be. For example, in the 550 horsepower package, if you were running at a 1.5 mile track, that's usually full throttle, like a Las Vegas or Atlanta in this game, which, is technically not even really a realistic interpretation of Atlanta. It's like new and old Atlanta mashed into one. But you can go full throttle and you should be able to go 3 wide, and the AI just don't necessarily care. They care for like a split second, but you end up making contact with them no matter what. And it's all about, you're going to make contact with them, and you have to just hope that they back off you really quick and they give you the room necessary for you to make some racing moves. But the biggest issue with the AI, and I said this before, is the pit stops. And it's ruining races, because I don't know what they're doing. So, what it looks like, from what I've been able to play the last week and a half, it looks like the AI have half, like, they only have 1 fuel can. That's the best way I can explain. Or like one, like, they don't go a full fuel run. At a 1.5 mile track, you should be able to go 55 to 60 laps or something on on a full tank of fuel. And they don't do that. So when you're running a 15% race, or you're running a 25% race, which is the most common, like, percentage of races you want to do when you're in a career mode, because you don't want to do 5%, you can't even have cautions on at that point. So in 15% races, the AI pit. Not all of them, but they pit. And it also depends on the length of the race. If it's a 400-mile race, some of them will pit with like 3 to 4 to go. But if it's a 500-mile race, usually everyone pits with 5 or 6 or 7 to go. And that ends up throwing a ton of weird nonsense into the player's way, because we can go a full fuel run. Apparently, we can't tell because we don't have a fuel gauge really, but we can go longer. So then you come down pit road during green flag stop, and essentially the only thing we can do to keep it like a normal race is to pit with the AI, and it's just very weird because then you're pitting with 5 laps to go. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense. Which is again ruining the career mode, and why I'm sitting here like I don't know what to do with the career, because I'm trying every way to get a normal race and I can't do it. And these two, you know, factors right here, cautions and the AI, are playing a big part in that. And again, it's something that I feel like the AI strategy could be fixed. That would be easier to fix than cautions. Essentially, you just gotta program them to run longer. They just have to run longer. That's the situation. I need them to run like as long as we can run. That's the thing that has to happen. So I don't know if that's a complicated fix or what, but if they could just run longer, then I can do a 15% race and have us essentially, we won't have to pit, but it would kind of be like a normal career at that point, just without pit stops. I want to go a little bit quicker. Those are the two main things I'm talking about. But guys, this is where I want to bring you in, consoles. So like I said, I play the game on PC. I really need you guys to give as much feedback as possible in the comment section, on Twitter, directly to Motorsport Games, and give your feedback on consoles. It's not uncommon for the consoles to have, actually, I take that back. It depends on the developer. Sometimes the consoles actually can be the better version of the games, in terms of just less bugs. For example, Deathloop was, I heard, very good on PS5. And that is a PS5 exclusive, right? Yeah, it was very good on PS5. Not a lot of bugs, but on PC there were a lot of bugs. So it depends on the developer. Depends on, you know, how they make the game, what their preferences are, and how, you know, all that stuff, and how their engine cooperates. With this game, PC is better. PC has less bugs. PC looks better. It runs better. Has less crashes, which is what I'm experiencing. But the console side is crazy. Like I said earlier, the lag thing, the thing where you guys, essentially your race is ruined because you're just driving normally and then you get launched 50 feet into the air because the AI run into you, or they stop, or they speed up, or whatever the heck happens in the game. It's a game-breaking bug. So there are multiple things that have to be fixed. And multiplayer on PC is usually dead most of the time. So multiplayer feedback is also needed, you know, from you guys on consoles as well. Along with consoles, wheel support. This is a big one that you guys have been mentioning to me. And again, I can't really provide a lot of feedback because on PC, there's like 35 wheels that are supported. But some of them are bugged. Essentially, some of them the force feedback isn't right. I have a Fanatec base and Fanatec wheels or pedals, and they seem fine. I haven't had any issues with it. It's just the feedback coming to the wheel, the force feedback is very low. There is a very little wheel support on consoles, and that's something that just, like, it's inexcusable. There's something for PC, guys. I saw this a week ago, and if one of you guys can maybe find it and comment below, I'll pin it at the top so, you know, we can all help each other, essentially. There's an article. Someone came up with a fix. And again, I don't know where it came from, and I was trying to look for it before I started recording, and I couldn't find it. If you go to the R Factor 2 demo and you save your wheel setup in the R Factor 2 demo, and then you run something through Steam and you take the file and you put it into a certain thing in the Steam or NASCAR 21 folder, one of those things. Essentially, you can carry over the wheel support from R Factor 2 and put it into NASCAR 21 Ignition on PC. I think that was the basis of it. I'm not entirely sure. There's definitely something out there, whether it was on Reddit or whether it was just like an article with a fix or something like that. You have to go through some loops and, you know, jump ropes and everything and all that to get to it. But that's the hard fix. I mean, obviously it's up to the developers. We shouldn't have to be doing that nonsense. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna wait for wheel support to get better. Those are the main things that, like, I feel like are just they're so necessary, guys. They're so like, this isn't even like I can wait a month for it. I could wait, you know, 14 days. No, this has to be fixed as soon as possible. It's painful. And unfortunately, this is the gaming industry today. A lot of games get released, especially sports games. They get released on a yearly basis, and they're just released in unfinished states. And so I've seen this over and over and over lately. It's very, very frustrating. There are a ton of other minor issues, like one thing I could think of, but what I'm going into next is definitely not like, they're not as important as, you know, those four things. That just has to be fixed as soon as possible. Career mode. I mean, where do I even start with career mode? Just the ability to be me. Like, you know, I'm just gonna put my name, Radman. Just put Radman on the car. You know, that would be nice. I'm really tired of just driving as James Davison all the time. But again, not necessary. That's not something that I'm gonna throw a fit about. It's not something that I'm gonna put a lot of emphasis on. Yeah, just something that needs to be better. I'm still gonna put controller feedback. It's lower on my list because, guys, as I play the game more and more, I spelled feedback wrong. I put feedback. As I play the game more and more, guys, the driving is better, obviously, with steering assist off. And if I had to survive the next month or two without, you know, vibration when my, you know, when the car starts sliding or something, I just genuinely can't feel it. What I'm doing is I'm putting traction control on high to counteract that. And you know, or medium. Actually, medium's good too. And that's giving me a little bit better experience. So I can essentially live with it, but it has to mean this, you know, up here has to get fixed. So that's why I'm putting, you know, I'm not making it a necessary thing. Being able to use a different paint scheme. That was something that I saw in career mode. So I like I said, I'm in James Davison's car, the 15 car, and he has another paint scheme, and I can't use it. I can't use it. There's no option to use it. I always have to drive the white and blue 15 car. So, again, not necessary, but just something I noticed. And there are a lot more, guys. Obviously, as you play the game, there are a ton more, but really all of them revolve right here, right there. I can't stress this enough. Anything involving that yellow flag has to be fixed as soon as possible. I'm going to end it there. Hopefully the video is not too long. I have to do a lot of work today and tomorrow before I go to Phoenix. So, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Provide all the feedback you can, and we'll, you know, hopefully I'm looking at next week. I'm hoping next week there's another major patch. If not, then oh well. But for now, I might have to put the career mode on the back burner. Just because, like I said, I can't figure out a way to get a normal race. It's somewhat entertaining because career mode, every video, every time, it is something different. I genuinely have no idea what to expect when I do a career mode race. It's something always different and usually not good. So, yeah, we gotta get that stuff fixed. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow, but I will not be uploading during the weekend as I won't be home. So enjoy your weekend, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.